But that one link that I'm just holding on to is that faith of, overcoming some kind of way.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how, I don't know when or why, but I'm making sure that's part of my psyche, because if you don't have that, then you're just in there putty in their hands. I mean, that's all we can do. That's all a person has, is that link to that emotion, that feeling, that spirit. If you lose that, then the truth is pretty damn scary. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, I'm sure it is. The parable of the wheat and the tares, which freaked me out when I realized what he was saying. That there's a guy who plants a field of wheat, but there's tares that grow in the field too. And you hold up a picture of a wheat and a tare plant next to each other, and you look at them, and you can't tell the difference. They are exactly the same. You cannot tell the difference. But Christ said at the end, those tares are going to be separated from the wheat at the harvest, right, at the end time. So that tells me that there's something that looks just like humans that aren't humans, that is going to be separated. And even the disciples said, should we war against them? And Christ even said, no, the angels will make that decision at the end time, because you're not going to be able to tell the difference. So he's given this parable 2,000 years ago, this example of something that looks to your eyes the exact same, but there's a difference, a major difference. One is very positive, and one is complete negative, because the tare completely destroys the crop. But you hold them up a foot in front of your face and look at them, you can stare at them for a day, and you'd never be able to pick out the difference.
Wow.
So what does that parable represent?
Interesting.
You start thinking about the fact that there's people walking around that look just like people, but there's some evil motherfuckers walking around that got heartless,
But what do you think about the government creating actual humanoid hybrid beings?
Another freaky deaky.
Yeah.
As in the days of Noah with all the fucked up genetics, Here it is. I
know, right?
Can you imagine the shit that they're growing?
Oh my God, no, I can't. And and that's another thing, I wonder if these bad entities could be a freaking genetically engineered entity that they could fucking control to do whatever it wants. Who fucking knows?
You're right. And you know what really got me too? Something that you did that I knew that you were experiencing the exact same thing I was, is to deal with the bug. Because I've had birds that I've got, and I've lost so many of my damn videos because I'm so careless and I'm not real good about putting them here.
That's not your fault.
But I've got videos of birds that have sat on a fence, and after 20 minutes, there ain't no bird in the world going to be sitting around for 10 or 15, 20 minutes staring at me because he thinks I'm good looking or some shit. I'm saying, this ain't right. This bird has been looking at me for the last half hour. And I'll go film this bastard, and then when I look at the film close, there's these little fuckers coming up under its wings and under its ass and under its... And I'm like, look at this motherfucker. It's got to be some kind of a fucking... they're spying on me through this fucking bird.
I know.
It ain't a bird. And I've had flocks of them go around in circles and land back in the tree about a dozen times. And I'll be in the yard going, you motherfuckers. I know y'all ain't flying around in circles in front of it and landing in that same tree. And I'll film them, and every one of them has these things protruding out from underneath the wings, and their heads morphing into all this weird shit. And I'm thinking, what is going on?
I know.
This shit.
I know.
Are they that worried about me?
What the fuck, right?
On me?
I know.
Because I'm up their ass every other night with a camera? I mean, is that what it comes down to? And that's why I don't publicly put them out there, because I got to the point where I just didn't know what between that electronic harassment bullshit and everything else, I just don't know. I just don't. Time I was freaking out on all of these things that were happening. I was like, there's just too much going on. Something is beyond explanation here, and I'm still trying to figure it out. But when I saw that bug, I said, it's got to be so similar because of the exact same types of manifestations between the lights and the bugs and the fucking, the birds and everything that you have dealt with, even the very beginning with the way the planes were doing these little freaky deaky moves just to kind of get your attention. The pattern was so similar that it validated the whole thing to me.
Good.
Somebody else was experiencing it.
Exactly.
Very similar fashion.
Exactly. And that's what makes you realize that, hey, because it's hard when everybody around you thinks you have some kind of problem. You start fucking asking yourself, God, do I need to go talk to some motherfucking body? Do I need to get on?
It does challenge you. You got to remain strong. You're right, because you can second guess yourself sometimes. And I think that these fuckers will feed off that too.
Oh yeah.
But as well as I do, it's like the tides. There's some times when a couple of weeks shit's happening all the time, and then there's some times when there's a lull and nothing's going on. And as soon as you start examining yourself and asking yourself, am I really dealing with this, is when it'll lull out and nothing will happen, and you'll start saying for a few days or a week, nothing, maybe I am, and then boom, and all of a sudden it turns right back on. It's like they lull you to sleep when they want to and keep you guessing, because they're obviously, if they wanted to just come out and say, hi, here I am, they would. So there's obviously, like I said in the very beginning, when the planes were morphing and doing, I said, there's no reason to hide unless you got something to hide. I mean, that's the bottom line. If they're trying to avoid being seen, obviously, then there's something to hide. There's something happening. And it's just a matter of time. It's true. It's going to manifest. But even to this day, I just can't put my finger on it, whether it's negative or positive or in between. I just don't know for sure.
Exactly.
From my experiences yet. Now, I guess some people have had, like some negative experiences. The triangles must have been a pretty kind of a negative thing for you, for that to happen. I've never
do you ever feel followed? Like if you're in your car, do you ever notice you got a
definitely followed
a companion star even? Meaning a thing that appears to look like a star up in the sky that just sits there, but it ain't a star, and it's
absolutely
okay.
Absolutely.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I even left here and drove when I started to realize that, because what happened in the very beginning, when I started doing this, like I said, I had no experience with cameras or film or video, and I got so freaked out what I was seeing. I was using my cell phone camera to just try to capture some of the images at first, just to see what I would catch, because I didn't have a clue. And when I would download, there would be so much shit right in front of me, or 50 feet in front of me, that was showing up that I couldn't see with my eyes, that was invisible, that I was freaking out. I kept saying, you mean to tell me all of this shit is appearing in front of me and I can't see it, but it's showing up on this downloaded footage? So that's when I went and bought a decent video camera and started to try to learn and started getting into it, because I was so overwhelmed by what was happening. There was things showing up in front of me that were floating around 50 feet and checking me out. Every time I go out there, they would manifest.
Oh yeah.
And I couldn't see it. And that's when I said, this is too much. And I went and got a decent camera and started fooling around. But they were just there constantly, regardless. I could walk out the door and they would. So then I'm
exactly
focusing in. And dogs will key you off, because that's one of the patterns in my neighborhood when I'm outside and something's happening. Dogs
are barking.
Go nuts.
Indeed. That's why I always say, what happens when the dogs stop barking? But no,
I was doing it at the same time in about a mile square area, because I'll get on my roof and I'll be videoing, and I can hear all the dogs in every direction start to go nuts.
Exactly.
And as soon as that happens, I'll start film and stuff starts showing up. And it's a pattern that is so